PC Drouin with the Fort Wayne Komets still. Just tell me about your decision to come back.
Well, it wasn't much of a decision. I always kind of envisioned to play out my 2-year deal and you know, try win a championship in one of these last 2 years. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it last year, and you know, personally, I didn't have a good year. You know, there's no other way to put it. So that kind of made it easy in the sense that, you know, I want to go out on a bang and a lot better season, and hopefully vie for a championship.
Yeah, how would you grade yourself on this last year?
D plus. You know, it was one of my most difficult seasons as a pro. I've never had that few points. You know, it was just a struggle kind of from the start, and I was kind of battling, trying to regain my confidence all year. I felt physically, I felt okay. I felt you know, I hadn't lost a step or anything like that. It's just mentally, with the rough start to the season, you know, I just seemed like I couldn't recuperate from that, and like I said, I was just trying to fight all year to get it back, and finally in the playoffs, I felt like I played more like myself, and you know, that's what I envisioned playing like next year, and you know, I'm going to have a really I'm going to put myself through a lot of work this summer to get back and start the season as hot as I can, and really have a really big last year.
Now, obviously, we've heard that the Chalker obviously is going to be back as well, and Sims will be back. And so, how important is it to have that veteran group of guys returning?
I think it's really important. You know, not just for the on-ice stuff or for the off-ice stuff. You know, just showing guys what it takes to win championships, what it takes to carry yourself as a professional, what you need to do every day in practice, and the little extras you have to do after practice to be pros and to be champions. And you know, I think it's crucial to, when a team has a few of those guys, to kind of hang on to them and kind of pass the torch to the younger guys. And you know, hopefully we can do that next year. And you know, last year when I signed for 2 years, I was hoping Colin would do the same thing, and you know, a couple of the other guys, just so we get a 2-year window to kind of win a championship in this league. You know, and the season last year didn't go as planned. Hopefully this next season we'll have a much better start, and you know, we won't be fighting for a playoff spot the whole year, and we'll be fighting for a league title, and like I said, for a championship in the playoffs.
With that year under your belt, under the new league, what are your thoughts about the league? Obviously, the Frankies say, you know, you guys are going to be back in the CHL next year, so better get used to it.
Yeah, I think I liked it. Obviously, we didn't fare well, but like I said, I have a hard time understanding why we didn't fare well. We had a lot of good players. The level of play I didn't think was much different than the IHL. The pace was maybe a bit faster. The way games were reffed were different. Obviously, we couldn't get away with as much. I think once we adapted to that, and we kind of found our groove there in January and February, we showed that we could be one of the top teams in this league. So I think with this year under our belt, we know what to expect. We know a little bit more about each team's. We know a bit more about their buildings, about the travel, and all that. So I think it's going to be a lot smoother next year, adjusting to all that, and we can pretty much hit the ground running.
Are there any other components that you would like to see come back next year?
Well, I thought by the end of the year we had a really good squad. We were strong, obviously, in goal. I think we reinforced our defensive core a lot, and we had three lines that could do some damage. So obviously, when you feel like that, you want a lot of guys back. But it's so hard to say who's going to be back, who's going to move on, and who the Frankies aren't going to want back. So I think we had enough towards the end of the season to do well and to compete for a championship. So I don't think there'll be much tweaking necessary for us to do that next year.